Steve O, welcome into the Bob Rivers Show. How are you?
I'm doing great, man.
All right. Guys like you scare me, you know.
Well, that's all right. It's so funny. I walked in. The shows Steve-O has hurt himself on. I'm like, yeah, all of them.
Every one of them, yeah.
It's not going to be any different tonight at the last.
You'll hurt yourself? You promise that?
Yeah.
You promise hurt. You're kind of like the opposite of Evel Knievel, who says, no, it's going to be fine. I'm going to come for 8 bucks.
Yeah. Well, you know, I have two goals with my comedy tour. You know, I want people to leave thinking that my comedy was funnier than they expected, and that, holy crap, that guy's still crazy.
Okay. Now, is talking to you a little bit like talking to a great NFL? Who gets hurt most in the NFL?
Ooh, quarterbacks, easily. Ben Roethlisberger
Quarterback
last night
towards the
got
end of
crushed.
his career.
Yeah.
I mean, as you're sitting with me now, you look great and all, but are you in some pain just as a normal course of the day?
You know, unless you count teeth, tattoos, and esophageal conditions, I've been pretty resilient.
I count all 3 of those.
Okay.
Like most of us, we're wimps.
Are your teeth hurting now? Because
No, they're not hurting. I'm just
They're
saying
just not
that
your
I haven't done permanent damage to anything else except for teeth and.
Are those your teeth?
They are, except for they're crowns and veneers.
Right.
I've been through a few sets of them.
I was going to say, because the teeth look pretty darn good.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
They should.
I was going to say,
fake.
if they're your teeth, how much do you pay? What are the monthly payments on those?
There's not a monthly payment on them, but yeah, like dental work. I've had a lot of crazy dental work. You know, I've broken a lot of teeth and stuff.
No, for a lot of years, when you hurt yourself, you know, you drank a lot, you didn't mind drugs. I mean, you could kill the pain, but you're completely sober now, right? You have been for a while.
How long?
3.75 years.
Congratulations.
Hey. So what do you do now when Mike Tyson's fist runs into your nose? I mean, you can't go and take a bunch of painkillers, right?
It was the other way around. I ran into Mike Tyson's fist, but you know, it is what it is. I didn't take any painkillers for that. I've been fortunate. I haven't had to take any painkillers since I got sober.
No kidding, because that would be that'd be a worse problem than drinking, I would think.
Right. I just wouldn't want to.
All right.
And with the Mike Tyson's fist, I was just, I don't know. I went to the Charlie Sheen roast, and it was important to me to do comedy. I really put some effort into that. But I also wanted to do a crazy stunt and kind of show that
what was the
still have
biggest
that in me.
stunt at the Charlie Sheen roast?
The biggest stunt?
The biggest thing you did at the roast?
I mean, I don't know. I would say that breaking my nose on Mike Tyson's fist would have to take the cake.
But you say you ran into his fist. He didn't do it on purpose.
Right.
No. Well, if I may, I watched this roast, and you had Iron Mike Tyson hold his fist, out and rigid, and you got a running start to land your eye on his fist.
Right.
So it sounds like he punched you, but he didn't punch you.
Right. Well, it's called the black eye game, and I said that on the roast. I said that the last time I had hung out with Mike Tyson was when we locked ourselves in a bathroom and did 5 grams of cocaine together, which was true, and that happened in 2005. But technically, the last time
that's longer than 3 3/4
Yes,
years
it
ago.
is.
Okay.
Yeah, technically the last time I had hung out with Mike Tyson was in 2008, when, believe it or not, we were locked up in a psychiatric ward together.
Oh,
wow, you guys!
Which is so awesome. And there we were in the loony bin watching TV in the TV room, and I was begging him. I was like, Mike, I'm not asking you to punch me. Just hold your fist out and let me run into it with my face, And he wouldn't do it.
He would not do it.
It wasn't the time.
It wasn't the right time for him. He had to warm up to it. Did he think that he was worried about you?
Well, yeah. I mean, he's a nice guy, and the times that we had partied together, we got pretty close. Especially that night when we were locked up in the bathroom. We had been locked up in that bathroom for probably 3 hours, and by the time we left, he was like, Steve-O, everybody's got you wrong. You're a really nice guy, a smart guy.
What do you guys do after you snort 5 grams of coke?
What?
I mean, you go
philosophize.
Yeah.
About how cool each other
You
is.
go pet his tigers, or
Yeah.
I mean, what does he like to do?
And I was snorting the cocaine. What he was doing, he was emptying all of the tobacco out of cigarettes and filling the paper cylinder with nothing but powder cocaine. I was looking at it. I was thinking, how is this logistically supposed to smoke? It'd be impossible. But he made it work. And I kept supplying cocaine for.
Oh no!
I love how we can talk about this on the radio too. It's hilarious.
Yeah. How that? Well, what you do after that much?
Yeah. What do you do?
Hesitate to tell you. I know, but mine was 22 years ago. You grind those new veneers. You get those babies a workout.
Have you been sober for 22 years?
22 years.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, thank you.
That's really, really
Although
cool.
22 and 1 day are equal, as you know.
Sure, of course.
1 day at a time and all of that. Now, what given your profession,
right,
and given your propensity for danger, was it the danger of doing drugs that made you quit, or was it something else? What made you quit?
You know what it was, is that I couldn't get through a day without doing any number of things that were so humiliating, shameful. You know, I just couldn't. Honestly, I was just so embarrassed by myself and so ashamed of my actions, which I couldn't even control at that point. That I felt like I just hated myself so much I didn't want to live. You know,
Yeah.
and it's a crappy place to be in when you couldn't ever really seriously kill yourself, but you wish you could. You know?
It's probably even.
How do I try this without the helmet? Can I try it without the helmet?
Well, it's probably even harder. You probably had a bunch of people encouraging you because it became your brand
Right,
to be
right.
this messed up guy who will do anything.
It's true, yeah. Like, you know, I started out and it was all about like being sort of doing stupid, crazy, dangerous stunts. But there was a cleverness about it. There was a cleverness. There was something impressive about it a lot of the time.
And there was by clever, you also mean skill. When you did your skateboarding videos,
Sure,
and
it was impressive. It was clever. It was and it all just kind of digressed into look how wasted I am, and where I'm smoking pot. I'm smoking pot on this red carpet. I'm peeing on that red carpet. It all just kind of became pretty pitiful, and ultimately my buddies Johnny Knoxville and the guys, they staged an intervention. They locked me up in the psychiatric ward. It was my second psych ward I was in with Mike Tyson on, but my first one was the day of my intervention. And
you'll be performing very near to the one I was in, by the way.
Oh yeah, nice. That's great. You know you got a serious problem when your interventionist is Johnny Knoxville.
Yeah, he's the guy. Yeah, trouble.
All right,
Yeah.
so life is good now. You're at Laughs tonight
Comedy stuff
and
spot,
tomorrow.
yeah.
Do you involve the audience?
Absolutely.
All right, tell me.
Absolutely. You know,
Tell me where to sit. How far
the
back
front
do I
row.
have to?
It's just the front
splatter
row.
zone.
If I don't want to be involved, 7th row safe, 10th row.
Yeah, generally, like my targets are all in the front row.
Okay, and what do you do with the audience? Just a little hint of some of that.
I mean, like I am a very open, kind of shameless guy about sharing. You know, like for example, one night I got so drunk I was orally pleasured by a transvestite.
Oh my God, who hasn't done that though?
I know, but it didn't happen in Thailand. Thailand, that's totally excusable. For me, unfortunately, it was Washington D.C., which is a little bit rougher.
And what some congressman couldn't find his person that night.
Right.
Very difficult.
But I mean, I call my comedy. I mean, I do crazy stunts and I do comedy. But the name I came up with for my tour is the Entirely Too Much Information Tour.
That was a good sample right there.
You still do the really crazy stunts? I mean, you know, the scrotum stapling and all that stuff?
Scrotum stapling is a little bit tough to do when it's when you can't have nudity and alcohol in the same spot.
At Laughs Comedy Club.
You know, my tour wouldn't last very
Thanks,
long.
Dave, by the way, for that standard. We love you, buddy.
If
Always a clean show.
Yeah.
At Laughs.
yeah, I mean, I don't know
That's
if
not
it's
your
it's
slogan, is it?
Not anymore.
No, not
Not
anymore.
tonight, folks.
it's not by any means a clean show, but yeah, you know, like I do pretty crazy stuff. You know,
It's a
lot
clean
of-
and sober show, though.
yeah, that's right.
Oh, not for the audience. They got
Even
good
the
drinks
audience,
and laughs.
my crowd gets loaded, and I encourage them to. You know, I tell them that being clean and sober, I don't recommend it. You know, unless you absolutely have to, because what's the point? You know, if
What's
you're
the point unless you're absolutely going to die?
right.
I know that one. Yeah.
You know, it's what it says. You know,
If my wife quits drinking, my quality of life goes down.
right. Most of us have to be pretty badly mangled before.
Steve-O, it is so nice to see
Hey,
you.
likewise,
And congratulations on all the good stuff, too.
I appreciate that,
You're
man.
looking good. Be healthy and happy.
I
and
appreciate that very much.
have fun. At Laughs tonight and tomorrow, 8 and 10:30 p.m. What do you think your yearly salary would need to be to consider yourself rich? Is this a poll?
Yeah, it's Gallup, actually. The king of polls asked this
What do you
question.
think your yearly salary would need to be to consider yourself rich? Tease, what do you think, Joe?
Well, if $1 million a year, and there is no question,
Yeah,
then you're
I'm
rich.
freaking
Now, see,
that's the
I
rolling in it
standard.
rich.
It used to be anyone who made $100,000 was considered rich. Is that no longer rich?
That's closer to what most people think.
But you're not going to go. You're not going to check the rich box.
I'm very comfortable with that, but I'm not rich.
Okay.
Not in this part of the country. Now, you put me in Nebraska and give me $100,000.
Hell yeah.
I want that silo right there. I want it right now. And I want it pink.
Steve-O, what would you say?
I think that we're on the cusp of a true global economic collapse, and once that all goes down, which I think is really pretty imminent, I think that there's almost no such thing as rich unless you're super rich.
Cat food's the new caviar.
Right. I mean, it's the whole wheelbarrows of money to buy a loaf of bread is
Right.
going to be in effect.
So the 1% will make $1 million a year, and then the 99 will make $40,000.
I think the 1% is going to be more closer to the billions, and the rest of the 99 are going to be absolutely hurting.
Homeless. All right.
That's depressing me, Steve.
Well, I know. That's why I value my Canadian passport.
That's why
so
he
much.
doesn't recommend. That's also why he doesn't recommend being sober. All right. Very nice to meet you, Steve.
Hey, likewise, man. Thanks
we'll
so
have
much,
the
guys.
answer to that, what the survey said from Nielsen after these.